I call Steve Darling, the Liberal Democrat spokesperson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. I'd like to congratulate the member for Leamington and Warwick in obtaining this really important debate. From what we've heard from colleagues so far this afternoon, it is extremely wide-ranging. I will personally focus the vast majority of my speech to a particular area around ticket touting and scalping in that area. But I just wanted to reflect on what we'd already heard from colleagues so far around shrinkflation, and allowing the public to understand the true price of goods is extremely important. So hearing from the Minister around that. Also, that the challenge where the Tesco's Metro in the town centre is significantly higher priced than that on the out-of-town supermarket. And I know from my own constituency in Torbay, that is a significant issue, because the perverse thing is that those who are poorest have to pay more because perhaps they are least able to jump in a car, and very often they do not own a car, so have little choice but to use that Tesco Metro or similar in the town centre. So some reflections from the Minister around that. And then also we heard about e-bikes, and regulations around e-bikes would be really welcome to hear the Minister on that. It isn't necessarily just the setting on a fire of e-bikes. It is the irresponsible ownership of e-bikes, the fact that there isn't actually an age limit around that. I was speaking to a police officer only earlier on this week around this was one of the challenges for her, and also often those using e-bikes are up to no good. So greater regulation around e-bikes, and some words from the Minister would be extremely welcome. However, on to my main meat of this, and concerts are an extremely enriching part of our lives. In my youth, I may have gone to a Deep Purple concert or an AC/DC concert, but my guilty pleasure is going to ABBA Voyager not that long ago. However, I would say, and I must admit this is my only pun, that this is truly dirty deeds done not so cheap that we're seeing done to our consumers that we are seeing before us, because the way that there is surge pricing and hidden costs is absolutely shameful. Tourism is also a real way of concerts are a way of driving tourism. I myself would not have gotten to Leipzig a couple of years ago if it wasn't probably one of the few venues I could easily get to see one of my favourite bands, Goran Bregovic and the Wedding and Funeral Orchestra. In Torbay, my own constituency, we have Electric Bay, a really outstanding festival, which was headlined by Fatboy Slim this summer on the Saturday night. And taxi drivers and those in the hospitality industry told me that the bay was buzzing and that it was better than a bank holiday weekend. And yet, there are opportunities with these type of festivals for ticket touts to come to play. One of my own staff was impacted by ticket touting. Again, as the member for Leamington and Warwick alluded to, it was the Ticketmaster world of the Oasis concert. There's no accounting for taste sometimes, but he spent hours online. He saw the ticket going up from £135 to more than £300, hence the surge pricing that we believe is wicked. And then on the secondary market, we saw it going up to £6,000 for that same ticket. So it is utterly shameful. And also I'm aware that Ticketmaster sometimes put labels on tickets as if they're platinum, when actually it's just the same as a standard ticket. So there is need for some real regulation in these areas, and we need to take some inspiration from Ireland to stop this, the way that the regulations apply there. both in the primary market, where there are limits of 10% increases and surge pricing is banned, and in the secondary market, where the same applies. We need to allow true fans to be able to sell on those tickets that they are no longer able to take advantage of, but we need to limit the additional handling fees to a reasonable level and ban that surging. Concerts are an outstanding way of actually enhancing one's sense of well-being, a good way of relaxing, and probably most importantly, a good way of developing a sense of community. But we need to ensure that people are protected when buying these tickets, because we all need a bit of light relief with the challenging world that we all live in now. Thank you, Chair.
Cool. Harriet.